I'm Matt Markman, and you're watching That LV Comic Life. My name's Matt Markman.
All right, how's everybody doing? Come on, you guys, you can do better than that. Make some noise, get excited, get fired up. Much better, much better.
I'm originally from Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area. Just outside of it, I say that because no one ever recognizes Walnut Creek.
I had a bit of a crap day myself. We went to the Toys R Us, and right when we walk in the store, it starts with the goddamn I want. You know what I'm talking about, just reaching for everything. Finally, I was just done. Pulled his pants down, just started swinging from back here, just embarrassing the hell out of him. And this woman gets right in my face. She's like, "You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to beat him like that." I was like, "Why don't you just mind your business, lady?" She said, "Because that's my son that you're beating, sir."
I've been doing comedy just a little over 12 years now. March was my anniversary. So yeah, just hit 12 years a couple months ago. Yeah, it's Matt Markman is my stage name and my birth name. Had I known it was going to be so complicated, I would have changed it. Only because, I mean, there's something about the name Markman that people call me Mark all the time. They're bringing me on stage, call me Mark. I'm sure you've done it. Everybody's done it. It's to the point now where I'm just like, no, I'm used to it. But I should have known, because when I was a little kid, my teachers used to do it. I had a teacher, I forget what grade, but the whole year called me Mark, and then about halfway through, looked at the attendance thing and says, "Your name's Matt." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "But I've been calling you Mark." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why don't you correct me?" And I'm like, "I did." And that's the problem, is I was so shy growing up. I wasn't vocal about it. Like now I mess with people and get in their face like, "It's Mark, it's Matt," and yell at them, but just to be funny. But it's just, I should have known better. I really should have just changed it. Maybe gone like with my middle name, Matt David. But then people think I was related to Larry David. I don't know. I should have changed it. I'm thinking now, but now I got the website. I've already been doing it for 12 years, and I think I'm just going to keep it now and just get angry about it every time. I'd never, who would have known? Matt Markman. That's why when I had a son, I was like, I'm not putting an M in front of it because people are going to have the same problem, I guess.
I got to do that joke once for a show. We were raising money for kids, and true story, the woman had seen my act before. She goes, "You can do that joke, but there's going to be some kids in the audience, so just leave out the part where you beat the child," which, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to that joke, that's the punchline of that joke. If I leave that part out, then I'm just a guy hanging out in a Toys R Us, which is far creepier to those kids, far worse. I know what I look like.
My parents, actually, we lived in Greece back in like 89 through 91. So my parents got an offer to come out and basically own a pool company. So we picked up everything. I had to leave my girlfriend, everything in the Bay Area, because we'd moved back to the Bay Area, and then we moved to Las Vegas in 92. So I moved here my senior year, which sucks. I went through 3 different high schools of 4 different years. So yeah, I mean, most people love high school. I friggin' hated it, man. Didn't know anybody, constantly changing friends. I mean, I didn't have that anchor, really. So yeah, that's when we moved to Vegas for that. I hated my parents for a while because of it. But, you know, what are you gonna do? They're putting food on the table. Yeah, I realize that now. But yeah, it was tough, man. I got into comedy, it's gonna sound weird, but I always thought it'd be funny to tell horrible, awful, not like bad jokes, but like jokes that upset people. Like dark, dirty jokes, and have people get up and walk out of the room.
This is a fun conversation I had with my mother-in-law. Now I understand what I'm dealing with. My mother-in-law, very sweet woman, very naive, very Mormon. My mother-in-law, like they just bought a house out in Beaver, Utah. She thinks it's funny that all the shirts and hats out there say, "I heart Beaver." She doesn't get the joke. So she goes and buys this I Heart Beaver stuff for her really Mormon husband.
I don't know why, for me that seemed very funny. The idea of just offending everybody. Me being the only one standing in there at the end of the show holding the microphone, and everybody's left. One of my favorite tapes, I had to have a neighbor buy it because at the time I wasn't old enough, but I had him buy The Day the Laughter Died. by Andrew Dice Clay, where he literally just goes in at the end of a night and just tries to walk people. And I was laughing so hard, and I was so young at the time, I didn't think I realized that was the concept of it. But I don't know, for me it was always just funny to upset people with jokes. I used to look them up on the internet, and sometimes me and my buddies would go to strip clubs. Well, a lot of times we would go to strip clubs. And one time my buddy would say, hey, this girl says she can't be offended. So within a couple minutes, I've told her a couple jokes, and they look at my buddies and like, your friend's a jerk. It's like, they're just jokes, but you said you couldn't be offended. But that was intriguing to me, the idea of pushing the envelope. So that's why I did it. I got into it because I thought it'd be fun. And I always, when we grew up, I always rented like the comedy stuff, the VHS. When we would go to the VHS store, my mom would always let us pick out, my sister and I, one tape, and I always had like a stand-up comedy special. You know, Bill Bellamy, Gallagher, just everybody. I would always get comedy because I loved it, and so it didn't surprise me once I got into comedy. I never thought to do it for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden, I was like, hey, you can actually go up there and do that? Just as a normal Joe, like you didn't have to be selected to do it. So, so I really like the idea of doing that too. So once I got up and did it the first time, and people were laughing, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I actually like this, and I can do it because I just did it. So then I started doing it more and more as a hobby, and then one day, you know, I get to the point where I got a couple bucks for it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just kept doing it, never really setting like a ceiling or a goal that I need to hit. And I mean, I still really haven't. I just kind of keep doing it and getting more and more comfortable. And now I'm at the point where I perform nightly. You know, I opened for Anthony Cools at the Paris, or I'm working Brad Garrett's next week, and, you know, constantly doing shows. And that's like, oh, cool. I never thought I would get to that point. So I think it's nice that I don't really set too high goals because I don't want to disappoint myself. But also, I'd like to be able to do it and make people laugh now. I still like to offend people, don't get me wrong. That's my brand of humor. It's a little different. There's a line where I go, okay, I'm going to stop because that will make only me laugh. Because these people paid. If I could go back and tell myself something, I would say don't do it. Don't do comedy, you're an idiot. Go get a real job, go to school, learn a trade. No, I don't. I don't know. I think I feel like I've kind of done it. Like I've been honest to myself. I've tried to be myself on stage. I don't know, I think maybe I would have tried to hit it harder in the beginning. In the beginning, we didn't have a lot of open mics here in Las Vegas. I think we had 2. And like, there was one on Sunday called Boomers, which a lot of Vegas guys started out at. But you couldn't do it every week, so I was going up like maybe once every 2 weeks. So I feel like I should have gotten out there more. I think it would have helped a little bit. You know, I did that for a little while, and then eventually I ran Boomers, so I was there every night, or every Sunday, writing jokes. And then that was the cool thing too, I think I would do more local shows, because it forces you to write new ones. You're getting the same people in those showrooms, so you don't want to go up there. You feel bad giving them, like, when I go to a show now, I'll look around the room and go, man, there's a lot of people that see me. I gotta bring new stuff to the table. It's not like music. You know, went to Garth Brooks the other night, and it's like, you know, play Shameless. I don't want to hear the new stuff. He even made a comment about it. He's like, I want to hear the old stuff too. But it's like, comedy's somewhat the same. There's jokes people enjoy, but they want to hear new stuff. So like, I think I would tell myself, just write. Get up way more than you got up. But I'm pretty happy where I'm at 12 years later. You know, I'm making money, doing what I love, getting ready to have a CD come out. You know, then I actually have something that I can't take away. There it is, a little CD with my jokes. It's out there for the people. I'll probably sell 5.
I love the History Channel. Who watches the History Channel? By round of applause. We got History Channel fans. There we go. There's my smokers. There you are. That's how I find you guys, and I will find you guys after the show. I was watching the History Channel. They had a story on there about Abe Lincoln. Now, according to this program, the day before Lincoln got assassinated, he knew it was going to happen. He had like a premonition. He told his wife, honey, if we go to the play tomorrow, I think I might get shot. She said, let's not go then. And he was like, you know what, it's my time to go. That's destiny. I can't stop that from happening. And that's the way this show said that conversation went. And I've been with my wife now for about 11 years. I'm here to tell you guys, there's no way that's how that conversation went down. Right? Abe was probably like, honey, if we go to the play tomorrow, I think I might get shot. And she probably said, you always pull this crap when it's somewhere I want to go. Yeah. You didn't think you were going to get shot when you were out at the strip club with your friends last night, did you, Abraham?
My name's Trez. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 8 years, and I'm originally from Bellflower, California, by Long Beach, but that's my roots.
Same old thing, slinging the jokes.
Yeah, Trez is my stage name. My original name's Trevor, and I have always had problems with my name. Every time I introduce myself, like, hey, how you doing? I'm Trevor. They'd be like, Kevin, you know, nice to meet you, or Tyson, or whatnot. So I ended up with the name Trez, nickname a friend gave me, and it just stuck. My goals from comedy are basically to make a full living, raise my family, and be able to pick and choose shows if I may, to make a good living. I have no aspirations whatsoever to become an actor. His position was safety, but as irony would have it, his untimely death was far from. What the hell? Are you serious? But I am down with acting in the craft, but to pursue or use comedy as a way to get into acting for me, no. I want to be a full-blown stand-up comedian or public speaker, but I just really like telling jokes, or conversing, talking, ideas.
They start to sting as the smoke comes pouring in. It's the first time that you think that there might not be.
What's going on, y'all? How we doing tonight? This lovely Wednesday. Let me hear you, everybody. Come on.
Where am I working right now as far as comedy? My schedule is wide open. No, I host some local shows here in Vegas. Adrenaline, the Laughter Hour show over there. On Wednesdays. I'm just kind of nomadic right now. I'm all over wherever they'll let me on stage, in between any type of bookings that I had. I just had a gig fall out for this weekend. I'm supposed to go to Utah. That's part of the thing. You gear up for it, and then that pulls out. But my day gig, which I'm very fortunate, is I get to do tours, comedy tours, out to Hoover Dam and the Grand Canyon, mostly Hoover Dam, but it's all around comedy, so I get to do stand-up every day, even if I don't have, and it has been a great place to work, learn to work clean, clean crowd work, develop clean material and do jokes. And I don't want to stress like clean, but it was something for me I thought I wouldn't be able to accomplish, especially the no cussing on like the tours. You got people from the Bible Belt, children also. My style of comedy, the way I look at it is, I guess observational, but I like turns, not so much like a setup punch type stuff, but walking people into jokes, you know, like kind of like a fighter would kind of draw somebody in and then, you know, step out of the way and just hit you with that pie-ow, you know, have you walk right into a shot, you know, you think you're just following me around, next thing you boom, you know. But
I thought I'd try and, you know, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I thought I'd try and do, you know, homeschooling. Didn't work out. Yeah, homeschooling didn't work out. As far as we got, bartending classes, so.
do I have a pre-show ritual? I do not. I don't. I sabotage every single one, every single time I plan to do something. I find something else to do. That's not, you know, preparing for a show. Yes, I prepare, but then like right before the show, I'm like, okay, I want to sit down. I want to go over this, and it's just like, something will catch my interest, or I want to avoid that because I don't want to. It's almost like I don't want to be overburdened with it. And then it's like when I go on stage, it kind of all, you know, comes together or whatnot. But I really don't have a set thing. One thing I will say I do is maybe not before the show, but guaranteed that day, but every day I do transcendental meditation, and that really helps out a lot because during that it gives me a time to decompress, and I will kind of go along the lines. I'll kind of go along the lines of working everything out in my head, and in a stress-free kind of situation. You know what I mean? So I can think of every bad scenario that's gonna happen, because flutters away. I bomb a lot, dude. You know, Bobby said it the best. Bobby Stott said it best. He goes, dude, he's like, it's hard to say you bomb. He goes, it's kind of like you bomb with class. You know, like you don't let it phase you. You don't get upset at the crowd. You don't act oblivious to what's happening. It's just, all right, well, you just kind of, you know, walk your way through your whole set and just do what you're gonna do. But because so it's almost like you're not bombing. It's just you're not getting laughs. Like, well, it's bombing, Bobby. You know, but he's like, it's not bad though. You know, he's like, people aren't mad at you, or, you know, and it's just they just don't get it or something. But he goes, yeah, you bomb with class, and I was like, all right, I'll take that. You know.
Style of comedy would be more like I'm very self-deprecating. I make fun of myself. You know, my wife. I mean, most of my jokes are not real. My wife's an amazing person, but you know, you kind of do those whole nitpicky. But I talk mostly about my relationship with my son, my wife. A lot about Las Vegas and the culture out here. You know, what I've grown up dealing with. You know, it's funny because I have an interesting story about like one of the biggest things that happened in the Bay Area was the 1989 earthquake. And I was actually in a newspaper bin behind the school where they saw, like at the time we were going looking for Sports Illustrateds, but then we realized that people throw away their adult magazines back there. So we're like, that's what we were looking for. So we were in this thing looking, and all of a sudden it started shaking. We thought the truck was coming to pick it up. And we thought, oh my God, we're going to die looking for adult magazines. This is horrible. Horrible way to go. And it's shaking, and we came running out, and it was the 1989 earthquake. And, you know, we realized that it was the World Series supposed to start. Hustled home. Obviously it did not, because it was pretty bad in San Francisco. And then the Monday went to school. We had to tell everybody where we were during the earthquake. And I said I was in the old newspaper bin behind Walt Disney looking for Sports Illustrateds, and everybody laughed. And that's when I realized everybody knew what other magazines were in that. I think to just talk about like life, things that happen to me that I think are funny. I think like but put that really good twist on it. guys I like watching are like Kyle Kinane. I watch him do like a 15-minute story, and just just peppered with laughs across the thing. But just to take a story, make it last that long, and make it intriguing. A guy who's not super popular now, but Mr. Bill Cosby used to do a great job of that, telling a story, having laughs along the way. But like, I like that. I like the little short jokes, but I also like to just be able to tell a story and really entertain people with stuff like that. So my jokes they're kind of all over the place pretty much. We don't have like a genre of stuff. I'm all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you get a couple of drinks in me, That's why I learned a long time ago, if I am going to have any drinks on the course, make sure it's the back nine, because I start in on the front nine, and I'm pretty sloshy around the turn, One time I crashed the cart right in front of the marshal. I crashed my cart into another cart, and the dude looked at me, and I gave him a look like, bro, like, my bad, I'm just a little wasted right now, and I'm sitting there thinking, this dude's gonna call the cops on me. I go and get in my car and leave, so I'm like, I'm gonna hang out, have a couple hot dogs in the clubhouse after this round. But yeah, man, we're driving the carts, and we were drinking all day. Started off drinking, it's like 7 a.m. in the morning. They had this concrete sign, and then another cart was parked, and he was like over there, he was talking to us about something, and I'm like, yeah, dude, and I tried to go in between, and I'm making sure I don't hit the concrete sign, I'm like, I gotta move over there, and I smacked right into that other cart, and blam! I mean, it sounded bad, blam! And my friend was like, he's just throwing out all sorts of cuss words, and I just looked right at the dude, I was like, bro, and he just gave me this look, the marshal, and just drove off. I was like, dude, I was sweating it, you know what I mean? But there was nothing there, and the tires hit, the way I clipped it, but just with the clubs and everything shaking, and just, bam!